gratitude. I've got about 4 ways here. You look at the present. We're going to go briefly into the past. You look back in the past at something real worthwhile in your life. And then practice pleasant words to yourself. Pleasant words. So we're going to start with the present. John, a patient of Dr. Elliot Jocelyn in Boston, was going blind in his late 30s, and yet he wrote in 1959. Now he's in his 30s. He's going blind. There wasn't any therapies for anyone back then. If you had retinopathy, you were eventually going to go blind. Of course, I've had retinopathy. I've got it. But there was something that was discovered about 1975 or something like that. Pan-retinal photocoagulation laser treatment that saved my eyesight. He didn't have that luxury in 1959. He said, "Yet I hasten to add, I've been grateful for every day of life I have had since first becoming diabetic when he was 15. I've always regarded each day as a sort of bonus." I like that attitude, don't you? If we look at each day as like a bonus, how are we going to treat that day? It's going to be a precious day for us, isn't it? Every day. Can you name 5 good things or tasks that have happened to you since you left your home for this meeting tonight? Can you name 1? How is everyone doing? Or is anyone hot? Is it too hot for you?
What's going on outside? I don't know if it's living here.
What is it, Paul?
Fire alarm, what's going on? They've been still in the,
There's enough.
burgers over there where we live.
Okay.
I think we could win those.
Okay, good. I'm glad. But anyway, we're not sitting outside at 98 degree weather, are we? It's a little bit better in here than that. How did you get here? Did any of you walk? Well, of course you walk from your car to the inside the building, but are you sitting or standing now? If you're sitting, that you're comfortable. If you're standing, that's healthy too. So we're all healthy right now. Can you hear what I'm saying? Have you guys been able to hear what I'm saying? Okay, even you, Paul? Carol? Good. Are you by yourself now? No. Sometimes I feel like I'm by myself. You know, if you face some really difficult situation with your health, it's easy to be lonely. But are you currently with others who want to outsmart diabetes and live well? Yeah. So we can look at the past. You just look at the current. What are the things you can be thankful for right now? And you can find things. What about yesterday? You go to bed tonight. You could think about, or you get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, get up and reflect back on today. 5 things for which you can be thankful. You can probably find a few things. One of them I'm going to find is, when I get up in the morning, I'm going to be thankful for all of you who have come tonight to encourage me. You see, it's difficult for me to get up here and give a talk like this to myself. But for all of you being here, you energize me, you help me. And so I'm thankful for that. Now, we had a person who he came to the diabetes support group for years. His name was Randy Brown. He was on kidney dialysis. And something bizarre happened, and he ended up bleeding to death. Randy died just a few months ago. At one time, he was at Grace Rehabilitation Center out on West Main. he was out there for quite some time, and he started practicing this idea of being grateful and listing the things. And he said it really helped him during that time. And I think it will help all of us if we'll do that. Can you look back in the past, something that's really significant, really made an effect upon you that was beneficial and helpful? Remember a time when you felt grateful for something that someone did for you? Or remember a time when you felt grateful for something that happened to you? Or what would have happened if someone hadn't helped, or if something good hadn't occurred? Well, there was a person at Joslin Diabetes Center in Boston, this ophthalmologist. He was the one that came up with pan-retinal photocoagulation laser treatment. He was the guy that came up with it. Now there's more treatments of just taking injections to kind of suppress the effects of retinopathy that help. But sometimes you get to the point where you have to have that laser treatment too. But he did that. He discovered that. He invented it. My wife and I, we were out walking our two little boys. They were just young. One was, I don't even know, he wasn't even a year old. The other one was like 3 years old. We've got a little red wagon. We're going around this park in Kansas City, outside of Kansas City, this beautiful park with a nice lake. Pulling that little wagon with my boy in it. And I'm telling Debbie, I say, hey, I see a dot in my eye. What is going on? It's a dot, and it's growing. Well, you know what was happening. I was having a hemorrhage. And it continued to grow, and it just happened more and more to where I couldn't see through that eye. I went to some ophthalmologist and said, there's nothing we can do about it now. We're just going to have to wait. The only thing you can do now is pray. Do you think I'd already been praying? Of course, I had already been praying. I didn't have to go to a doctor for that. But then there was that, I was new at this church, and there was a woman who went to a leading endocrinologist in Kansas City, Dr. Hellman. And I was able to get into him immediately, see him. And then he lined me up with an ophthalmologist named Dr. Zemansky. I'll never forget his name. Dr. Zemansky. This is what he looked like. You know, I discovered, we're sitting in the waiting room, my wife and I and our two little boys, and I'm telling someone else who's there, we're talking about it, and I said, you know, I just discovered that my health insurance, my company went bankrupt. I don't have any health insurance. Well, a nurse overheard that. She went and told the doctor. And when they called me to come back to the doctor's office, Dr. Zemansky said, I can see your two little boys out there. And I said that you need laser treatment. And I know your situation. Those boys need a father who can see. I'm going to do those surgeries for you for no cost at all. I'm still thankful for it. It really affects me right now. Dr. Zemansky was chairman of the Department of Ophthalmology at Baptist Memorial Hospital in Kansas City in 1984, a clinical associate professor of ophthalmology at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Medicine from 1985 to 1972, served as the team eye physician for the Kansas City Chiefs football team from 1990 to 2003. He had been a contributing member of the Macula Society since 1981. He'd been in private practice as a retina specialist since 1977. I doubt he's still alive. But I got the best. I'm thankful. So I go to Joslin Diabetes Center in 2010 for the research that they were doing with the people who had lived for at least 50 years with diabetes. And they took photographs. My wife was in the condition group. I was in the study group. And they took photos of our retinas. Which retina do you think is my wife's retina? It's a beautiful retina. Do you think it's the one on the right? That's my battered looking thing. She's got the beautiful retinas on the left. But boy, I'm thankful for what happened. Now, I bet if you think about in your past, this will bring up this positive outlook, this gratitude within your heart, and that will help you with your health. If you can think of something that has happened to you in the past like that you can be so thankful for, then that just emphasizes gratitude, and you can build on that. Pleasant, feel-good page. Someone says this. It happens over and over. Yesterday, for example, I followed my prescribed meal plan almost perfectly, and I even skipped dinner. So I woke up this morning and my blood sugar was 300. This is ridiculous. Why should I bother even trying? That doesn't sound like pleasant words that they're given. That self-talk doesn't sound pleasant to me. Here's what we need to be thinking and focusing on. Pleasant words are like honey. They are sweet to the spirit and they bring healing to the body. Think about pleasant words that you can say to yourself. You know, you've got two things happening to you right now. You've got a feel-good page and a feel-bad page. Now, just looking at that little diagram there, which page do you think I would say you need to be reading from most of the time?